Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. As you can see, we are continuing the zombie apocalypse series. And as we left off, as you guys know, we left off where Emrys and Sapphire both have been, like, Emrys was woken up by the loud banging and Sapphire was taking watch. And as you guys remember, hopefully, that we left off where they seen the two survivors screaming for help. So let's continue that. Emrys looks over slowly at the survivors as they're screaming, and they can see slightly with the slight moon glow and the shuffling of zombies outside. The daughter has blood on her face, and the mother has some, like, birthmark or bruising, and Emrys just doesn't really want to take the risk. Emrys cautiously walks over to the door and asks them, "Have any of you been bitten? Have any of you been bitten?" And the mother just tells Emrys, No, we have not been bitten. Can you please just let us inside? We need to be let inside. It's dangerous out here. We were here first. This was our sanctuary first. You need to let us in." And Emrys just looking around cautiously and looks over at Sapphire, who's just like, "Don't do it." But Emrys slowly grabs the table and pushes it to the side and lets the survivors in. As the survivors are walking inside, Emrys just asks them nicely, "Please help me move the table back." So they agree. They're not gonna argue with someone who just let them into somewhere safe. They're not gonna fight with her. And they're like, "Okay, yeah, we can help you with that." Emrys slowly looks at both of them, and she looks with a worried expression. She's like, "Listen." "Listen, I just need to make sure none of you are bitten." I'm sorry for repeating stuff. She's like, "Listen, yeah, I get that. She's just like, we can do that for you. We could show you, but you need to make sure don't do anything weird." And she's like, "Listen, as long as you follow the rules we have here and let us check you and treat everyone fairly and you have stuff to offer, you're fine here. We can't be doing this alone. We can't be fighting." And she's like, okay. Then check us." That's who's knocking on the door. "Vladdy, what are you doing here?" Then Mia wakes up and she's just kind of questioning, why are there people here? She's not gonna question Emrys' decision. She wants to believe her. So Emrys is just taking a quick look over of the mother and doesn't see any bite marks from what she could tell. And she's like, "Okay, I need to check your daughter." Her daughter's angry about this. She does not want to be checked out by these random people. She doesn't want to be touched. But Emrys takes a quick look at her, looks at her arms, looks everywhere she can see, and sees there's blood. She's like, "Where's the blood from?" She's like, "I really don't want to talk about it. Please don't make me talk about it." The mother just sighs sadly. She's like, "We lost your little sister." And that's all that I'm gonna say. We lost the sister. And she looks over at her mom with a sad look. Just goes quiet and won't talk anymore. Sapphire is just kind of confused, and she's like, I'm gonna head to bed. You guys can take watch now." And Emrys is like, "Of course, Sapphire. You can head to bed. Just relax." So Emrys looks over at the daughter, and she's like, What's your name? Like, "My name's Emrys." And the daughter is like, "My name's Alyssa, and my mom's name is Sharon." And she's like, "Oh, well, I'll introduce you to everyone, even though one of them's asleep. This is Sapphire, and the girl in the bathroom with your mother is Mia. I can tell you're pretty young, so I hope everything's okay." She's like, "Oh, I'm 18. I'm not really that young." And she's like, "Oh, so you're like only a year younger than my sister." She's like, "Oh, which one's your sister?" She's like, "Oh, my sister Sapphire. We really don't get along, so you probably don't see us talk much." And she's like, "Oh, okay." There's like a little hope in her eyes. She's like, "There's someone my age that survived. I didn't think I'd find anyone else that would be alive at this around this time, and it's a miracle, honestly." So Emrys is just sitting here trying to think. Oh my god, they keep getting glitched out because of this book thing. Emrys is just kind of sitting here thinking, what rules am I gonna set? How am I gonna set them? She's gonna be like, "Listen, we all should respect each other. We don't need to argue. Let's agree, disagree. We have to vote on things, I think." And everyone's just gonna be like, "Yeah, maybe we can vote, you know, like, we were here first. And she's like, well, do you guys have any supplies at all? Like, any? And they're gonna go through their, like, their pockets, and they're like, no, we don't. She's like, so you guys came here with no supplies? Come here with no supplies and take ours. And they're like, we could scavenge if that's what you're worried about. Like, we can go out and look. Daughter understandingly nods at her, and she's like, okay, I'll try to respect these rules. I'm really scared. We're all scared. We might break them sometimes. She's like, we'll have a 3-strike rule, you know? The normal 3 strikes. She's like, yeah, I think that's a good idea. 3 strikes, yeah. And then the mother just looks at her. She's like, so we're gonna have rules here, right? I want to set some myself. Let's not step in each other's boundaries. We all will have different sleeping things. And actually, we did bring stuff. If we could get out to our truck, we have sleeping bags, and we have some food, and we can grab it. It's just we don't have it on us. And Emrys just like, I really don't know if that's the smartest idea. We shouldn't be really going out in, like, the apocalypse. We can't be risking it. Look, like, people are still driving away. They're trying to get to safety. She takes a quick look out to make sure, like, it's clear. Maybe, like, nothing bad's out. And maybe it's safe, you know? Like, we could maybe get the supplies they're talking about. She's like, just make it quick. Don't waste my time. Oh my god, why just slow down? She's like, just don't waste my time. Please get the supplies. We don't really have much room for more sleeping bags. We'd have to rearrange, and we have to do this. And we need someone to watch overnight. The mother's like, oh my god, if you let us grab our stuff, I can watch overnight. You know, it won't be a big deal. And she's like, really? You would let us all sleep? And she's like, yeah, we just honestly woke up for the zombie apocalypse. We were sleeping on the ranch, and she's like, oh my god, thank you. We're all so exhausted. As you guys can tell, Sapphire's still snoozing away. So they're both gonna head out to their truck. By the time the mother and the daughter come back inside, the sun has started to rise, and they already put the beds up. And she tells them, she's like, is anyone hungry? Like, I have some food. And everyone's gonna wake up. You're like, oh my god, yes, I'm so hungry, but we have some food, so save yours. They're gonna move the table back, obviously. Oh yeah. They also brought lights in to light the place up a bit, to make it brighter in here. Mia's gonna think smart here and save half of her sandwich. She's not gonna eat it right all. She needs to think smart. But since everyone's still pretty exhausted, everyone is gonna head to bed, like the mother and daughter said. And Emrys is gonna come over and talk to them, and she's just gonna be like, are you sure you want to take watch, Shannon? I forgot your name, my bad. And she's like, yeah, I don't mind that you forgot my name. Yeah, go to sleep, let my daughter and you sleep, and just relax, I'll take watch. So everyone's finally gonna get some good rest, not for long, but it's better than nothing. While the mother sits here, while Sharon is quietly reading her book, she sees something in the corner of her eye out the window, and she's like, and it's not there anymore. She's like, huh, maybe I'm hallucinating. And then she hears loud banging on the door, and she just quickly puts her book down and warns the others. As everyone's waking up, she just tells everyone, she's just gonna tell them, there's a zombie at the door, there's a zombie at the door. With a fear screaming at her voice. I'm not obviously gonna scream. She's just gonna be like, listen, there's a zombie at the door. And Mia's gonna be like, what? There's a zombie? And Emrys comes into the bathroom, and she looks out the window. She's like, are you sure? I'm not seeing anything. I don't know. I don't see it. And she's like, I promise you, it's just banging on the door. She takes a little peek out the window and sees over here. She sees a shoulder. Oh my god, a shoulder. And she just starts freaking out. She's like, they all just start freaking out. They're like, what do we do? What do we do? And they're like, we just have to barricade the door and stay quiet. We can't be talking like this. So everyone just quietly starts grabbing stuff to barricade the door and praying that And Zombie just doesn't come in. They don't need any more issues. They just want to relax. They finally want to just be able to relax. Everyone's talking about quietly. Obviously, I can't force it to be quiet, but everyone's just whispering, like, how long do you think the zombie's gonna be here? Like, should we go kill it? And everyone's like, Mia's like, are you guys crazy? You want to go out there while there's a zombie? And everyone's like, what? It's 5 of us versus 1 of them. And she's like, yeah, but it could easily take 3 of us in one bite. We can't risk it. A single scratch, blood, we don't know what could affect people. And the daughter's like, I actually kind of agree with her, Mom. We can't just be risking our lives. And she's just like, okay, yes, you guys are right. We can't be risking it. And Emrys just looks at everyone and she's like, listen, I get we're all freaked out right now. We just need to be quiet. How about you all just sleep? And the mom's like, you think we can sleep right now? And she's just like, you have to try. And Mia's like, I'm exhausted, so I'm going back to bed. And she's like, her little sister's like, can I take a shower first? I'm really gross. And, well, I guess Sapphire's just washing herself, and she's just thinking this entire time. She thinks this sucks. She doesn't want this. She's scared about the windows, because some of them are just broken and have no holes. A zombie could easily just get through here if she ripped the bars off. There's multiple cracks in the other windows. There's spider webs everywhere. She's terrified of spiders. She just wants... she wants to just go home. She just wishes where she knew where Ashton was. And the older lady comes in. She's like, hey, you doing okay? She's like, I don't even know you. Why are you acting like you care? And she's like, well, we're all survivors, and you're around my daughter's age. And she's like, I don't care about your daughter. I don't care about you. I don't care about anybody. I just care about my boyfriend, and I don't know where he is. She's like, your boyfriend? What happened to your boyfriend? She's like, oh, that's not your business. Leave me alone. And Emrys walks in. She's like, hey, guys, can we head to bed? I have enough energy. So the mother's just gonna immediately just drop the conversation, and then the mother and Sapphire's just gonna go to sleep. She looks around outside and realizes it's gone quiet. I think that zombie left, she whispers. Finally, everyone's asleep, and she just relaxes. She sits down. That's when she has a weird feeling in her stomach. She's like, oh my god. No, it's just hunger, right? Like, I just ate some food. It's just me being hungry. And Mia wakes up. She's like, hey, are you okay? Like, what's going on? And she's just like, I'm not feeling that well. Remember that guy I went on a date with a few months ago, the beginning of the month? And she's like, yeah, I remember. She's like, we hooked up, and I'm not feeling the best about this. And Mia comes over here, and she just hugs her. She's like, hey. Listen, you're gonna be okay. This can't last long, right? And she's like, who knows? The government would have fixed it by now, don't you think? And she's like, a zombie apocalypse is harder to fix than you think, Emrys. We can't just fix it. And Emrys is just like, no, like, I don't think it's just, she starts sobbing, and Mia's just like, hey, Emrys, it's okay, take a test. It's probably gonna be negative. I'm gonna go scavenge, okay? Like, I'm gonna go scavenge. I need to find us some more food. Like, your sister needs to eat, you need to eat, I need to eat. And if anything, you definitely need to eat, and we need to get more clothes. Like, we need to get clothes. It's summer, we can't be wearing all this stuff. And she's like, you promise you'll come back? She's like, I promise. And if I don't, I promise that I'll find you in some other life form. And Emrys just looks over her with a small smile. She's like, okay, Mia, I love you. And Mia just thinks this is like a, oh my god, best friend, I love you. And she's like, a sad look. She's like, I love you too. And she leaves. Before Mia leaves, Emrys gives her a quick hug. And she's like, Mia, please come back. I need to see you again if this is true. She's like, of course, I will come back. Mia leaves, and Emrys watches sadly as she has to move the table back, leaving her best friend out there. She has to come back, Emrys whispers to herself. She has to. I can't lose Mia, I can't. And she just looks sadly as her best friend leaves the sight of her view. Emrys just looks around at everyone. The empty sleeping bag, where her best friend should be still. And she looks over it and finds a test. She quickly grabs it and looks over at everyone again and says, I hope everything's okay. Mia comes in quickly to take a test after feeling extremely nauseous after eating, and just patiently waits to see what the results are. The light's shining through there, and that's the only light in here. And she just keeps looking and sees it's positive. And Mia just covers her mouth, tears starting to stream down her eyes. Because it was supposed to be a one-night thing. She doesn't even know who this guy is. She doesn't even know where he lives. Doesn't even know anything about him. She starts crying, trying to keep quiet as the light through the window just keeps showing her the results. She keeps double checking and checking to make sure it's just fake. That's when Emrys is gonna come out and see that the mother has awoken, and the mother's gonna be like, hey, I heard you crying in there. Are you okay? I'm sorry if I'm intruding. She's like, no, I'm not okay. Can you just leave me alone? Like, I don't need you to be bothering me about this. And she's like, listen, you remember your rules. She's like, you need to remember your rules. We can't be being rude to each other. And she's like, I act like she's not happy, guys. I'm happy. And Sharon immediately just walks away to just talk about it with her. And Emrys follows her and just says, what do I do? What am I supposed to do? Okay, I guess Emrys is gonna take the seat. She's gonna be like, what do I do? I don't know what to do. And she's like, listen, I know it's okay to feel scared. We're living through a nightmare, but you're not alone. We've all had kids, and I'm gonna be here for you through it. I've had 2 of my own, and I will protect you and this baby no matter what. Emma shares her worries. She's like, but what if I'm not a good mom? I don't even like men. This was supposed to be a one-night thing. I don't know who the dad is. I've gone on multiple dates. It could have been anybody. Like, we don't even know if the baby's gonna be safe. The zombies could attack it, and I could turn, and what about the baby? And she's like, if that happens, I'll get that baby out of you before you even know it. She's like, I'm already a month along. Like, I don't even know how long this is gonna be. And Sharon walks over to the sleeping bag and says, hey, listen, you're gonna find ways in this world. You're gonna be safe. It might be the darkest time right now. She looks at her with a soft gaze. Just, as you can tell, she looks at her with a soft gaze while eating still. She's a little annoyed that this has happened. We'll do our best to protect you and your little one. Nothing will happen. Together, we can face whatever comes our way. And you might be nervous now, but just imagine how it's gonna feel when you finally have this kid. You wanted to be a mother, here's your chance, you know? And it might be harder now to raise it, but free baby stuff, you know? Free baby stuff. And she just looks at her with a small smile and is like, yeah, free baby stuff. I don't have to spend money on it, Ellie. So she's like, yeah, that's a good way to think about it, right? Like, free baby stuff. And she looks over with a smile and is like, yeah. Daughter comes out and she's like, what are you guys talking about? And Emrys gives the mom a weird look and she's like, please don't tell her, please don't tell her. She looks over at her daughter, she's like, we're just talking. We were asleep. I just realized I gave him the same hair. I'm so sorry. And the daughter's like, Mom, shouldn't we go to the house and get some clothes? And she's like, well, actually, there's not that far from here. There's a mall. And maybe, just maybe, it would be safe there. And Emma's just like, but Mia has to come back. And she's like, how long has Mia been gone? And Emma's just like, she's been gone a long time. And she just looks down at the floor and starts sobbing. She's like, she's been gone for a really, really long time. And she goes to sit down. And she's like, I just need a minute. She had to act like she's not sleeping. She had to under the covers and sobs. And she's like, I think we should go to the mall. And the daughter's like, yeah, we could find clothes there. We could find other things. And it could be safe. She's like, listen, Mom, I'm gonna go do something to my hair. As her daughter's in there with a pair of scissors cutting her hair, her mother packs the suitcases, sleeping bags, and wakes up both of them. She's like, listen, I'm sorry to be waking you. I think we should start going. And Emrys is gonna immediately wake up and be like, she's gonna be like, are you crazy? We have to wait for Mia. We can't just be leaving Mia. She's like, if Mia was here, she would be coming back by now. Mia's somewhere else. Something's happened to Mia. And she just looks down, gets in her sleeping bag and sits, and she's like, don't say that, we have to wait for Mia. She's like, how about this? How about we write a note here and tell Mia we went to the mall? If we leave the mall, we can write a note there too. I bet they have paper. And she looks down and she's like, okay, yeah, we can write a piece of paper. So she gets up and grabs her sleeping bag, puts it away in her bag, and so doesn't her sister. She grabs her sleeping bag, and she's like, okay, so we're gonna get going now? They all nod, and that's when the daughter comes out with her short hair, and her mother just looks at her with a surprised look. Just shocked, honestly. Okay, I guess I can't fix that, but she walks over to her daughter, she's like, you cut your hair, it looks great for being an apocalypse. And she's like, why are we cutting our hair? We have to go to the mall. Oh, why'd it get dark? So dark. Is it because it's nighttime? It is. And she's like, listen, we're gonna be heading there in the dark, and I don't think this is the best idea. She's like, listen, we have to do this. We have to go, we have to get out of here. So they all gather around to grab the table. And they're like, we're gonna leave our lights behind, except one, and we're gonna use that as a, like, inventory thing. So, they all formed around together. Sapphire still not saying a word. She just looks concerned. She's like, this isn't the smartest idea. So she walks over to Emerus, actually, and says, are we sure this is the best idea? Like, do we want to be going right now? And Emerus is like, yes, let's go with them. She lets out a sigh, and she's like, I personally don't think this is the best idea, but okay. They finally arrive at the mall, and they look around, and it's pretty quiet. It honestly seems like the mall is pretty safe compared to what it used to be. They all decide to start running inside. Apparently not all, but they all decide to act like shit. All run inside and hide in here, and they just look around, and they're like, could there be anything we need here? Like, we shouldn't be here for too long. It's a mall. They're gonna quickly grab one of these benches and immediately block the door off. The all start going separate ways. One immediately runs to the bathroom. Amherst is just looking around, and she's like, man, I have to look around. We have to scavenge to see if there's anything to eat. We have to find food. Like, there's some computers in here. But none of this stuff is gonna be able to work. She's just gonna be very honestly, like, she's not gonna know what to do. She's really worried about Mia never coming back, and she's just nervous. I would be nervous too, honestly. She's gonna immediately go back out here and just kind of see that this is not a huge mess as much as she thought it would be. And that it's just kind of an area. She's gonna have to call everybody eventually, you know. She's looking around, and we're just trying to see that if there's anything they could use. She's just looking and looking, walking around. She comes to the second floor and just looks around, and she's like, I'm not seeing clothing. I think we should get to the higher floor just in case. We're gonna need it. She's looking around for everyone, and she can't seem to find them either. Emerus can't find anyone, and she's starting to stress out. She's like, how are we gonna find anywhere to stay? She wants to find a room that's big enough, and she's like, oh my god, we found a semi-clothing store. She's like, I know there's a bigger one. I've lived here, like, since I was little, but that means we all can start getting different clothes. So she's gonna come up here with everyone and just... Oh, Sapphire's here first. Okay. Emerus is gonna come up. Oh my god, her belly's huge already. Calling everyone to come with her. And she's like, listen, we all have to find clothes that we're gonna be able to survive this apocalypse. Oh. Okay. We're gonna have to find clothes to survive the apocalypse. They all start gathering clothes. They're gonna have to find backpacks. Hopefully they can find that. And they're just gonna pack as much clothes as they can, because they obviously all understand, like, they have to be dressed for the harsh weather that could come. And it's summer right now, it's hot. They have to be ready for it. everyone starts grabbing clothes, and obviously they all start getting changed. And that's when the daughter is out here. Ignore Emma sleeping on the floor. She walks out in her outfit and looks over the ledge. Just kind of relaxed. She's like, it's peaceful here. It's gated off. It should be safe. No zombie should get here. She lets out a sigh of relief and she looks over to everyone. She's like, listen, we should find a store since it's nighttime. We should find a store and all go to bed. And she looks over and she's like, the furniture store's pretty full. We could go there. Or we should find a store that's higher up and take shelter there. We could also just, I don't know, find somewhere. So they all start just looking around, and she remembers, she's like, I actually seen a pretty empty one upstairs when we first looked around. There was another clothing store up there. And Amaris, oh my god, taking selfies, go queen. Amaris is like, I think we should stay on the middle floor. You know, we have a furniture store right here. We have plenty of stores. We have another clothing. Honestly, I think we should go into this one right next to the clothing store. It'd be safer. Plus, there's like a back area, and we could hide back there if we need to. So everyone agrees, and she's like, but that means we're gonna have to move stuff, and we need to do that together. So everyone has to go here. They all decide to just head into the house. Oh, she found food in the trash. Okay. But everyone just heads in here. As you see now, everyone's in their favorite attire. Emrys is gonna look over at Sapphire, and she's gonna, Sapphire, can you help them move the tables, the counter, not counters, but like the desk, and some chairs to make some space back there? And Sapphire's like, I'm not feeling. She's just gonna be like, why aren't you feeling well? Is there something you ate? What's the deal? And she's just gonna be like, yeah, it's just something I ate. Can you just help them? And she's gonna be like, yeah, whatever. I'll help them, whatever you want. So they're gonna move these over to the side. I know like it'd be actually physically impossible to do this, but it's whatever. They're gonna move this to the side. They're all gonna finally start relaxing. Where's the mom? They all finally start getting things set up, and who's the least tired out of us all? Emrys? Nope. Okay, so the teenage daughter is. So the daughter's gonna be like, okay, so that's not working. Will she sleep if I put it there? Okay, well, it's a weird layout, but the daughter's gonna take first watch of the night, and the mother's gonna come in here and go to bed. The mother's gonna come here and just watch everyone, nervous for her life, as anything could happen. They have the door slightly barricaded, and the mother's gonna take. Alright, I don't know what's going on, but they keep acting like surprised by her. I have to fix that. The daughter's gonna leave after taking a look at everyone to go find something to eat, leaving everyone else just to sleep all by themselves, basically. That's when everyone hears a loud bang that happens downstairs, and everyone wakes up and they're just like, what could have that been? What could have that been? Where could that have gone? They're all in different rooms. Oh my goodness. What's happening? That's when the mother of our sim here is gonna see her daughter in a room with a zombie. That's when the mother is gonna run into the room and try to save her daughter just in time. But as she makes into the room, she sees her daughter has been bitten. She quickly grabs something, like the bottle off the shelf, grab the zombie, and stab her in the body aggressively. I don't know if I can show this, but for attacking her daughter. Imagine it's a bottle. Oh, just imagine it's a bottle. She quickly gets off and runs to her daughter. Sharon is gonna quickly run over to her daughter and hug her while still covered in the zombie's blood, and she's just gonna be like, no, you can't be bitten, you can't be bitten, it has to be just a scrape, it has to be just a scrape. Stay with us. I'll talk to the others later. We'll talk to the others. Sharon is gonna quickly pull Emrys over to the side, and she's gonna be like, listen, maybe it was just a scratch, maybe we've seen wrong, and Emrys is gonna be like, Oh. Well, it's already too late. She's gonna be like, listen, your daughter's turned. She's just gonna be like, your daughter's gone for your daughter. She's gonna be like, I'm gonna leave, and can you guys do it for me? So the mother quickly runs out of the room, and Emerus is also left as she sees the daughter getting back up from the bite. She remembers what she heard. She's gonna quickly go up behind the zombie and grab it around the neck and twist. She just sits there in shock at what she just did, and she starts shaking, and she's like, that's just... 2 people have been killed right in front of me, and one of them was my age. She's gonna quickly run outside, and just start sobbing. She just lost someone in the group, and Mia's not back. Mia's the one that usually understands her. Okay. Mia's usually the one that understands her. She just sits here and ponders and just doesn't know what to do. There's no one else around. Both of them left her to do it by herself. And that's where we're going to leave it off for today. She honestly does not like the fact she had to kill someone, but that she knew personally. They don't even get to know each other well. She knew the person in the group for almost 2 days now, and it was someone she probably noticed from school. You need to think about that. They lived around the same area, and they've helped each other out a lot. And I'm just gonna say the next episode's gonna be pretty chill. I don't want anything crazy to happen in the next episode. We've already lost like 2 people, maybe 3 if Mia doesn't return. And yeah, it's just a lot. But I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope you have a good day. Bye!